Can you tell us about why Donald Trump wants to give a tariff-funded bailout to the farmers?
Well, this is pretty straightforward, Tiana, and essentially, back when the president was announcing all of his tariffs, including sectoral and these wider Liberation Day reciprocal slates, he got a bunch of blowback from farmers because naturally, you would think, in response to the president's tariffs, other countries would place tariffs of their own, specifically on American agricultural products. We fast forward a few months to just a few weeks ago, and China has ended, for the first time in 20 years, all purchases of U.S. soybeans. It's more than a quarter of all U.S. soybean production in the States, and instead, they are now purchasing soybeans from Brazil, a country that has some 50% roughly tariff rate put on them by the Trump administration. So it does seem like the president is trying to solve a problem of his own creation, because you have to imagine, most of these farmers are in red states, and even the farmers in the blue states, they voted heavily for Trump. That's just the way things go. I don't make the rules about regional demographics. That being said, we've heard a lot from Brooke Rollins, from the White House. We're going to be putting together some type of aid package. We heard it, back in the spring. We're hearing it now again, but there are numbers attached to it, with, the most conservative estimate being a bailout of some $50 billion directly to those ag producers. And on the one hand, this makes sense. Sure, we are pursuing a radical policy change. We need to, account for the people who will be, impacted negatively greater than the wider population. But my understanding is that this doesn't make sense for any number of reasons.